Now, David Cameron said yesterday that the government here was taking extremely seriously those claims that Anders Breivik has links to far-right groups in this country. The organisation whose name has been most mentioned is the English Defence League, and they say they had no official contact with him. While Stephen Lennon is from Luton, of course, he's also known as Tommy Robinson, and he's the leader of the English Defence League and joins us in the studio this morning. Stephen, thanks for coming in and speaking to us this morning. Just start by asking, have you ever met Anders Breivik?
I haven't. Can I just start by saying our deepest sympathies and prayers go out to all the victims of this horrific incident.
Did you know of Anders Breivik before Friday?
I didn't know.
But fellow supporters did of the EDL, didn't they? According to Breivik's Facebook, 600 EDL supporters.
600 out of 100,000 followers on the internet, so it doesn't mean any of them have met them. They're cyber friends on Facebook. I had 7,000 friends on Facebook. I only knew about 100 or so of them.
But 600 EDL supporters are his friends on Facebook,
yeah, they were.
EDL has got links, hasn't it, to
Well, it says it's got links. I think we don't need speculation or opinions. Opinions are like elbows. Everyone's got two. We need the facts. The facts are, because there's been this smear campaign and word association.
The facts are 600 are his friends on Facebook.
The facts are on page 1438 of his document. He states that EDL are in fact anti-racist, anti-fascist and anti-Nazi. They have many members and leaders with non-European backgrounds, Africans and Asians. The EDL and his group principles can never be reconciled, as we are miles apart ideologically. The EDL harshly condemns any movement that uses terror as a tool, such as mine. This is why myself view the EDL as naive fools. The EDL is a democratic movement, and they still believe that a democratic system can solve Britain's problems. Does that sound like we had a good relationship in any sort of way? But
previously, prior to that, Breivik had he's changed his mind.
He's changed his mind, and this is the latest thing. He's changed his mind once he's seen what we're about.
But he has supported your organisation in the past, hasn't he?
We share a part of an ideology that we believe that Islam is a serious threat to Europe.
Well, let's not talk about your ideology, because we've heard about it many a time here on Breakfast. What I want to talk to you about this morning is Newsnight last night on the BBC. You made an extraordinary claim that we're heading for attacks here, which Norway has suffered on Friday. In fact, we could see them here.
I've made that claim for years.
In 5 to 10 years' time.
I've made that claim prior to this.
You're planning for this then, are you?
I'm not planning for it at all, no. I condemn all acts of violence and extremism. What I'm saying is, if we don't plan against this, it will happen, and God forbid we need that on our soil.
What leads you to believe it's going to happen in the first place?
Because when you live at a street level like myself, you understand the anger and frustration that there is in our communities. There's a lot of anger, there's a lot of frustration. People are deeply concerned with Islam, and by brushing them under the carpet, not just brushing them under the carpet, anyone that opens their mouth being deemed a racist, we see our local politicians calling us outsiders. There's an alienation period going on with the working class community of this country, and if they're not careful, they are going to create monsters. And in a democracy, when you're aggrieved by...
Stephen, where's your evidence?
Where's my evidence?
That this is going to happen in 5 to 10 years' time.
Well, look what's just happened in Norway. I said this before Norway.
It doesn't mean it's going to happen here. Where's your evidence that it's going to happen?
Well, there's no evidence until it does happen.
Then why are you saying things like this?
I'm predicting. So
this is your gut feeling?
There's an undercurrent of anger.
Do you not think by saying things like this is what will stir it up in the
No,
first
I believe
place?
that by ignoring things like this and not talking about things like this will allow it to happen. And God forbid, we want to prevent anything like that happening on British soil. And to prevent it, they need to start accepting that there's an elephant in the room. It's called Islam. Let's talk about it. Let's not brush it under the carpet. Let's not try and pretend that it's hunky-dory and Islam is not a religion. Islam's a religion of peace.
But this is what you're very good at, isn't it, as the EDL? You preach intolerance, yet you don't want to take responsibility for the effect of the rhetoric on other people. I mean, there's the definition... that's the definition of power without responsibility. What you do is you light the touch paper. You give people your opinions. You put them out there, these extreme far-right views, and people run away with them.
Which extreme far-right view is that?
And
when you talk about intolerance, Islam is an intolerant religion towards all other faiths.
But what you do is you preach your views to people, and then when it becomes a little bit out of control, or a lot out of control in this house, in this case, you wash your hands.
You're completely wrong, actually. If you look at everything we've done from day one, we've gone against extremism, we've promoted integration, we've promoted non-European members, non-English members, because that's what makes up England. When I see England, I'm from Luton. I see black, I see white, I see brown. That is why is what makes up the English Defence League movement.
Are your supporters dangerous?
Are our supporters dangerous? No, not only supporters that I know are dangerous. It's the same. It's the same. When 7/7 happened. When 7/7 happened, would you have no? Listen. When 7. No, I'm not dangerous.
Are you dangerous?
No,
I mean, we're reporting in the news this morning. You've just been convicted of football hooliganism this week, and in a fold in the street ball.
I've been convicted in raising my arms in the air, and if you read the Guardian website, they actually say the police officer was caught out lying on oath. In the last 12 months, I've had my rights to go to football taken away. I've had my right to protest away. And I'm appealing it. I've had my right to protest away, and I've had all my money and finances taken away.
Are your members dangerous? I mean, I'm going to show you a picture now, taken from the internet, which is your EDL supporters wearing English Defence League tops, holding guns up.
And does anybody know who they are?
But this is the thing.
So they could be anybody.
You're preaching your views, but then you do step away from real responsibility.
If you look at what we've preached non-extremism, non-violence from day one. That's all we've ever done. We've condemned it. We've tried. We're in a democracy. When you're angry, you go out on the street and you're supposed to protest. That's what you're supposed to do. It's your democratic right. That takes away. If that democratic right is taken away, when we come to Luton, we had serious issues in Luton which we wanted to highlight. We came here. We peacefully protested in our thousands. Yet we had politicians telling us we're scum. They don't want us. These are the dangerous times when there's treading on these times to try and take people's rights away from them. I've had my democratic right to protest taken away from me. So have many of our members.
As the EDL, do you no longer know who you are?
Yeah, we know who we are. Yeah.
You're far right to wing.
So what's far right about the English Defence League? No, can you answer? You've just called me far. You answer the question.
The so-called link between Breivik and EDL is something that you're now severely
Which link? The link where he calls us in his thing naive fools. That link.
But he was one of your supporters.
Oh, well, clearly not naive fools. He says we are ideologically miles apart. Now, can you explain to me what is far right? No, explain. You've just called us far right on the radio. Explain to me what is far right about the English Defence League. You're not. Yeah, explain to me what's far right.
What you preach in your views.
Okay, so against homophobia, against anti-Semitism. Tell me which part is far right. Just explain to me which part's far right.
What you preach in your views.
Which part? You're not going to be able to answer it because we're not far right organisation.
I'm coming to it.
Go on then. What's far right?
What you preach in your views is far right.
Like what?
Because
like what?
What you go around preaching.
Like what?
Well.
Well, you haven't got an answer because we're not far right. That's it. You can keep labelling us far right on the radio and the media. If you come out and tell the truth, we're not even far right. There's nothing far right about standing up for women's rights. There's nothing far right about standing up for our culture.
What your group does, it preaches against a recognised global religion.
No, it's not a global. Is it a religion when you get the death penalty for leaving it? See, in my mind, that's an that's a cult. And the Italian government have come out and said this is not a religion. This is an ideology. And across Europe, you're seeing all politicians coming out and explaining it's not. It's an ideology that is masquerading as a religion. I'm glad you've just confirmed that there's nothing far right about our organisation.
Do you worry that a minority of your supporters might go too far?
No, the biggest worry to me and this country is a minority within the Islamic faith. That's the biggest worry. Let's not pretend that the biggest worry is any far right organisation here. The English Defence League have never committed any acts of violence. We've never blown anything up. We've never bombed anyone, killed anyone, or maimed anyone. That's only happened on our soil by members of the religion of so-called peace.
Stephen, many thanks for talking to us this morning. Stephen Lennon from Luton, also known, of course, as Tommy Robinson, and the leader of the English Defence League.